Xiaolu, ride your electric bike slowly. Don't throw us away when the time comes.
Haha, it would be strange if the broken mountain you two ride could catch up to me.
Okay, what's the use of running fast? You'll still be stuck by branches in a while. Don't be too confident.
Hey, look here, like we've never been here before.
Yes, this path seems to have not been walked for a long time. Why does it feel a bit gloomy?
You cowards are just a forest. What's so scary? Come with me. I'll take you on an expedition. I promise you'll be fine.
In 2016, I was still in the 5th grade of primary school. As usual, every holiday, I would go out on a bike ride with 2 friends in the community. The 3 of us have a very good relationship and stick to each other every day. Xiao Wang and I both ride mountain bikes, while Xiao Lu is a year older than us. His family is in good condition. He rides an electric car. At that time, our community was located on the edge of the city, next to a rural area with few people and a large area of dense woods in the west. The air was fresh, but it always felt a little desolate. It was an afternoon during the 11th holiday, and the sun was still warm. We rode out on a bicycle with Zhao Li. This time, we decided to go to the woods farther west to play. Along the way, we laughed and were in high spirits, and our speed was faster than usual. When we got to the woods, we started to feel a little bored after playing for more than an hour. At this moment, we suddenly remembered that there was a narrow path deep in the woods, which was usually not walked at all, and we didn't even know where it led. The trees on both sides of the path were so dense that even the sun was blocked, and it even looked a little gloomy. But for children like us, the unknown and adventure were the greatest attractions, so we all decided to go in and find out. Since Xiao Lu was riding an electric car and was faster, he volunteered to be the leader at that time. I was in the middle and Xiao Wang was following me. We rode all the way west, initially through a dense cornfield. After about 15 minutes of riding, the road conditions began to become unsuitable for cycling, and the original dirt road gradually turned into a muddy trail. We had no choice but to stop the car and walk forward instead. Every few steps we heard the faint sound of water flowing. Looking up, we were blocked by a high iron plate in front of us. Behind the iron plate, there seemed to be a rushing river. At this time, the sky was getting dark. Mother's love began to cover the earth, so we decided to hurry up and go back. On the way back, we switched positions again. This time, Xiao Wang walked in front. I was in the middle, and Xiao Lu was at the end. On the way back, we could vaguely see the outline of the distant city. The high-rise buildings blurred into shadows in the twilight of the thickness. It was about to get dark, and we also accelerated the speed of the ride. Just then, an accident happened. There was a sudden thud behind me, and then Xiao Lu fell to the ground. We quickly stopped and looked back to check the situation. Xiao Lu rubbed his legs and said in shock, "Just now something seemed to have pulled me." We looked around and saw only a few branches scattered on the ground, so we guessed that the wheel might have been caught in the branches. But Xiao Lu shook his head and said with a flustered expression, "No, I felt something pulling me on the back of my head before I fell." Xiao Wang and I couldn't help but feel a little hairy after listening, but when we looked around, there was nothing behind us, only the dense woods on both sides, which seemed to be endless, which couldn't help but make people feel a chill rising from the bottom of their hearts. We continued to ride our bicycles, and the speed was involuntarily faster, and the tension filled our hearts, almost making the air become condensed. Fortunately, nothing happened this time, but when we were about to go home, something strange happened again. Just as Xiao Lu was checking whether his electric car was damaged under the street lamp, Xiao Wang suddenly shouted, "Why is there a handprint on your back?"
我们看着小吕的后背，那个泥手印很突兀，特别的显眼。当时明明没有看到任何人，这个泥手印到底从哪里来的？我们互相之间对视了一眼后，就谁也不敢再说话了。
We were really scared. When I got home, I told my parents about it, but the adults didn't believe it at all. They said we scared ourselves and then scolded me so hard that I wouldn't be allowed to run around in the woods again. I thought it was over, until 2018. When Xiao Lu fell into depression and his condition got worse and worse. Then one day, he suddenly disappeared. His family searched all night, and finally found him on the trail where we had been cycling. Soudh was suspended on top of the 5-meter-high iron plate. What makes it terrifying to think about it is that there is nothing to climb or step on around the iron plate. Although Soudh is over 1.8 meters tall, it is impossible to reach that height with his bare hands in any case. The strangeness of this not only makes people feel cold behind their backs, but also makes our former friends leave us like this, and the forest has become a lingering shadow of my childhood.